with you.
All right, glad you came back. So it's Labor Day weekend. Actually, technically, it's actually Labor Day today for me. Not for when you're watching this, but Mama Shaw wants something good, so we're making porterhouse steaks for her. Right? She's gonna have some mashed potatoes, some corn. It's on a big platter because these things are huge. Look at this guy. Yeah, yeah, and I'm gonna show you how to make it. Oh, it's delicious. Oh, this thing's hot too. You know? Hey, look at that. But you saw the thumbnail. Enjoy it. Hey, this is Shrashira. That's the best elevator music I ever heard. Okay, so real simple. What we have here, we have our porterhouse, right? I'll tell you about that here in a minute. We have a sprig of rosemary, right? A few sprigs of thyme. We have almost a stick of butter, and you'll see why we're going to use that here in a minute. We have our garlic cloves, right? We're not going to use all these. We're going to use probably half of them. You know, it goes to your taste, right? We have our pepper, and then we have our fleur de sel. Now, the fleur de sel is a finishing salt, but it tastes really good because it's thicker than coarse salt, and it really sticks to your tongue, so it enhances the flavor. Also, we're going to be cooking a steak in some safflower oil. Now, the reason I'm using safflower oil is because of the high smoke point. It's like 450 or 460 degrees before it starts smoking. Just to put that in perspective, butter will smoke at about 250 degrees or so. Right now, so you might ask, what's the difference between a porterhouse and a T-bone, for example, right? So the porterhouse and T-bones, they look a lot alike, okay? You have the New York strip side, and you have the filet mignon side, which is the filet side, which is the tenderloin. So what happens is the porterhouse is bigger, right? The tenderloin side is a lot smaller, like a half of this, maybe even a quarter of this on the T-bone. The reason it's like that is because the T-bone is pulled or cut from the forward part of the cow, where the porterhouse is taken from the back end of the cow. So you get more of the tenderloin. So there you go, a little fun fact for you. All right, so the first thing we want to do, we want to season the steak, right? So take some of our fleur de sel, you know, sprinkle it on. You know, don't be scared to season. Put a black pepper on it. Sprinkle it kind of high. You don't get all crazy with it. Just kind of high. Make sure you just hit everything. You're going to flip it over. And then do this side. And there we go. Pat it in good. Turn it back over. Make sure this side is nice and seasoned. And now, let's get the pan ready. Let's get our oil on. I'm using a cast iron skillet. Now, you want to use a cast iron skillet, a nice heavy cast iron skillet. If you don't have one, hey, you know, look in the description, right? I'll give you a nice little link so you can get one. And I'm going to be putting some safflower oil in here. And the reason I'm using safflower oil is, again, like I said, because of the high smoke point, right? And I'm using my infrared thermometer so I can shoot and see what the temperature is of the oil. And I'm looking for about 400 degrees so I can start searing my steak. And we're going to sear these porterhouses for about 4 to 5 minutes per side. And then we're going to put them in the oven, which is preheating right now at 450 degrees. Okay, and we're gonna let them finish it, but we'll get to that here in a minute. Now the temperature, based on my infrared, yeah, we're looking at about 410-ish or so. This will work. Now we're gonna add our steak so we can sear it. We're gonna lay it in away from us. And we're gonna let this go for, like I said, about 4 to 5 minutes, and then we're gonna flip it. All right, now we're gonna turn this bad boy over. And we're gonna let this side cook for about 3 minutes. All right, now what we're gonna do, we're gonna turn it down to medium low to low. Okay, we're gonna add our thyme, our rosemary, so a few things of garlic, maybe like 6 cloves of garlic, and then we're gonna add our butter. Right? And now we want to baste. We're going to tip it and baste. All that good flavor. Baste it. Yep. And in about a minute or so, we're going to take it out and put it in the oven. Oh, it smells amazing. So we're going to put our herbs and our garlic just on top here with our butter, which is now brown. We got a little brown butter, so you're going to get that like slightly nutty hazelnut flavor. Now we're going to put this in that oven. All right, this goes into the center, 450-degree oven. 8 to 12 minutes. Because Mama Straw likes hers very done. All right, this is done. Mama Straw's steak is done. Now we're gonna let it rest. Yep. All right, now we're just gonna cover it with some foil. And we're gonna let it rest for about 5 minutes. And I'll explain to you why we let it rest. Now, the reason you let your meats rest is because once you take the meat and you put it on the hot surface of the pan, all of the juice, right, it will basically run away from that hot surface. So when you put it down, all the juice that's on the bottom will go up, okay, to the center of your protein. You flip it over, and again, the juices from the bottom go to the middle again, right? Because it's too hot, so it's being steamed away basically. So after you cook it, you let it rest, and as it cools down, the liquids and juices will redistribute throughout the meat because it's no longer that hot, frantic zone. So that's why if you cook something immediately, you fry it immediately, like the steak here, if I were to cut it right now, all that juice, that liquid that has built up in the middle getting away from the heat, if I cut it, it's all gonna ooze out. That applies to all your proteins, right? Well, not so much fish or shellfish, but like your chicken, your goat, your lamb, your beef, it applies to all of those, your pork, right? It applies to all of that. So you need to keep that in mind. Let your meat rest so that it can relax, cool down a little bit. Even though when you let it rest, the temperature is going to go up at first, but then it's going to slowly come back down a little bit, and the juices are going to redistribute so every piece is juicy, not just the center. Right? So keep that in mind. Let's build Mama Shraw's plate here. This epic plate. Okay. Give me the corn. Steak. There we go. Now we need to add some herb butter and we're done. Now we're going to add some herb butter. Right there in the center. Put another little piece there. Alright, so here's my plate. Yeah, not Mama's plate. Wait till you see Mama Shraw's plate. Such a diva. You gotta see this. But yeah, this is what I'm about to grub on. Hope you like it, because I know I'm gonna enjoy this. There we go. Labor Day, you know, Mama Shraw wanted something good, so we have some porterhouse steaks here for her. You know, we have some corn, mashed potatoes, we got some herb butter. I know you're gonna enjoy this. Hey, try this recipe out. Oh, hey, the herb butter. Hey, it's on my channel, so look it up and you can see how I made it. Now, back to what I was saying. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Hey, subscribe if you've not already subscribed. Hey, join the peanut gallery. Our arms are open and we're going to leave the light on for you. Also, if you haven't hit me up on Instagram, put my name in, look for the gray cat, and let's connect. Share me out. Again, share me out if you can. That being said, this Shrashira, let me get this to Mama Shraw before she swings on me.